All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We the brothers from the Great Millstone Cleveland branch, and we gonna start off by, of course, giving our honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom to everybody that's tuning in, listening, and learning, and getting this edification from several brothers doing this ministry from the four corners of the earth. Shalom. And we just gonna get right into some scriptures. The Lord is about to bring the plagues, and this is one of the plagues that the Lord is getting ready to bring. Whether you hear for bear.
Right, because they don't believe in the miracles that Yahweh Shah did, far as in feeding 5,000 people, not including women and children.
Right, they don't believe in the chariots. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That they not unidentified flying objects that they actually identify in the scriptures.
Right.
And they're not green beans. You know what I'm saying?
The Leviathan, even though Esau, he shows you in a form of everything through the scriptures. You got Godzilla, but what that's a representation of the Leviathan.
Right.
What you people is gonna succumb and see in these times too to come.
This is the book of Job, chapter 40 and verse 15. It says, "Behold, now behemoth, which I made with thee, he eateth grass as an ox." Right. So when you go to this word behemoth, it's Strong's H 929. It says
Strong's H 930.
930.
Behemoth.
It says behemoth.
Behemoth.
And it says perhaps an extinct dinosaur. What is this word? Diplodocus. A Diplodocus or Brachiosaurus, exact meaning unknown. Right? So, Esau gonna say that it's unknown, you know what I'm saying? We chew the meat and spit out the bones, but we know that this is dealing with the Leviathan, you know what I'm saying? Which, for the most part, Esau only showcased this on television and movies, you know what I'm saying? And we really, truly haven't seen a physical Leviathan come out here on physical land and do damage. You know what I'm saying? But we getting ready to come into them times where the Lord is about to let them loose, man.
Right. Even in the scripture talk about the newly created beast that the Lord about to create. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. Could you get that Genesis?
Yep. Because, Esau, he'll tell you that these animals, existed millions and trillions of years ago, And we know that one day to the Lord is 1,000 years, man.
God.
Right, the Lord created the earth. It was completed, 7 days?
Right. It says it rested on the seventh day.
Right.
Well, I live in verse 24.
Yep. This is Genesis 1 and 24. It said, and God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing and beasts of the earth after its kind, and it was so. And when you go into that word God, that just translates to the word there is Alahayim,
right.
Meaning it's plural, meaning more than one. The elect, in the first fruits, all right. Which Yahweh Shah in the first fruits was the ones who created everything that you see here today.
That's right.
And when you go into this word here, creature, it's going to give you an understanding of that everything came out from the water here. It says the Strong's H5315. It says soul, self, life, creature, person. It's a mind, living being, desire, emotion, passion.
Right, so God created the creatures, and we go into that word God is Alahayim, which is the powers, you know what I'm saying, plural. So, the elect and Yahweh Shah created, creation through the spirit and power of Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you got Leviathan that's on the earth right now, you know what I'm saying? He was created by one of the men of the Lord, And going back to Job chapter 40 and verse, I'm going to go to verse 16. It says, lo now, his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. It says, he moveth his tail like a cedar, the centers of his stones are wrapped together. His bones are as strong. His bones are as strong pieces of brass. Right. So this ain't no regular type of beast. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be a beast. It said that his bones is gonna be is brass, as metal, man. You know what I'm saying? It says his bones are like bars of iron. You know, so the Lord is going to bring Leviathan upon the earth, and there's going to be great destruction going on. It says his bones are strong pieces of brass. Verse 19. It says he is the chief of the ways of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Right? Let's read that in NLT. It says it is a prime example of God's handiwork. Right? Because what's the Lord going to do with Leviathan? He's going to do a lot of damage, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these. Could you get that? He shall build.
Oh yeah. Go down.
It says it is a prime example of God's handiwork, and only its creator can threaten it.
God, that's mighty.
It says only its creator can threaten it. You know what I'm saying? So a regular old Edomite, what are you gonna be able to do against I don't know how big Leviathan truly is, but what is he gonna be able to do against a beast that great? You found
this
that?
is Malachi 1 and verse 4 say, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshua of hosts. They shall build, but I shall throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Right, and that's one of the ways that the Lord is going to throw us down. We know that the Lord is going to come with them ICBM nuclear missiles to do the ultimate destruction, but the Lord is also going to send the beasts of the field. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures also say that the beasts shall be moved out of their place. You're going to have wolves, you know what I'm saying, and all different type of wild animals. Lions.
Bears and,
yep.
You know,
lions, tigers, and bears.
All of that. You know, 'cause you got a zoo in every sort of state and city.
Right. It says his bones are as strong. It's like a verse. Let me jump down to verse. I'm gonna jump down to verse.
Because where's the a dinosaur, sort of speaking, or a lizard, however you want to word it, but where's the strength at? It's in its tail. The Leviathan gonna be slapping shit down with his tail. All of this stuff that we just read about how he shall build, but the Lord gonna throw down. The Lord gonna throw down everything, man, alongside with the chariots and the Leviathan, man, and the ICBM missiles, man. It's gonna be hella destruction, man. Why? Because this place is totally wicked, man. All right, the sins of this place have reached unto the heavens, man. That's why the Lord ain't gonna spare this place, man. Place gonna be a desert.
Job 40 and verse 23, it says, behold, he drinketh up a river, and hasteth not. He trusteth that he can draw up Jordan unto his mouth. So this is a great beast, man. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be a humongous, you know what I'm saying, beast, man. It says, he taketh it with his eyes, his nose pierceth through snares. It's when you read that in NLT, it says, no one can catch it off guard, or put a ring in its nose and lead it away.
Right, so you're not gonna be able to detain it. You ain't gonna be able to, like how Esau come with like tranquilizers and all that shit. You ain't gonna be able to do shit with this beast that the Lord is bringing. So
right, man, Esau's circus, he got like those little sticks that can electrocute the elephant and basically just keep it in check. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to penetrate or try to do anything to harm this type of animal, man. This is the book of Job, chapter 41 and verse 1. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook?
The Lord called, bro.
Or his tongue with a cord which thou laidest down? Right. Can you fish Leviathan? You know what I'm saying? Can you just get big old fishing hook and just try to get Leviathan out of this hookup? Could you get that second Ezra the plagues?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to get him out of the way, man. You're not going to be able to stop this type of beast, man. This monstrous, enormous beast, man.
You want that now?
Yeah.
This second Ezra 16, I'm going to start at 3 and say, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Right,
that's all dealing with the missiles. The Lord is going to be able, he's going to shoot them ICBM missiles, and ain't nobody going to be able to quench that fire. The scripture says it's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth, man.
And ultimately, the Lord is going to use, these Edomites and all these other nations, all right, to shoot forth those missiles. Spearhead of Russia.
Right.
Russia going to be the spearhead of, nuking this place along with the other nations, man. And the Lord's Spirit is going to move these missiles, man, to
That's
where
right.
He want them. So you ain't going to be, Brad trying to shoot the missiles out the air.
Right.
None of that.
The scriptures say none shall break their rank. And I think that's Joel, the 2nd chapter.
It says 5 plagues are sent unto you. And what is he that may drive them away?
What is he that may drive them away? This is one of them plagues, man. The Leviathan is going to be one of the great plagues that's going to come against wherever the Lord wants to send Leviathan, man. It says, back to Job chapter 41, because who's going to be able to turn that back? Like we just read it, man. You can't even put a hook in his nose. You can't do nothing, man. It says, Job chapter 41 and verse 2. It says, canst thou put an hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn?
Because you got like things like a muzzler put on a dog and try to stop his mouth from opening or biting or shit like that. But what you think you gonna do with that towel and the Leviathan? He's gonna be eating shit, destroying shit, man.
Wagging his tail, slapping his tail on buildings.
Right.
It says, will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee?
Right. He gonna come like, I'm just gonna, save a portion of you people,
Right. He ain't gonna beg you for mercy, man. You know what I'm saying? He is not gonna ask for any type of, sympathy.
Because he covered in the spirit of Yahweh Shah, man.
That's right. It says, will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever?
Right, Esau gonna try to come with some food, try to, get him to calm down,
right?
Tricks and all.
Right, exactly.
He ain't gonna be able to do none of that.
Yeah,
this
do some
like
tricks in the circus.
This ain't like your pet German Shepherd, man.
Exactly, right. Because Esau bold, man. He even got, lions and tigers and bears that he can use in his circus tricks. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Whales and shit.
Right. Right, because whales is dangerous animals too, man. They got strong jaws. They got sharp teeth. It says, wilt thou play with him as with a bird? Or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants?
They gonna try to do some Jurassic Park shit. Hey, look, man, come see the Leviathan, man.
Right.
$45.99 to come, see the Leviathan. No, ain't gonna be no bread and circus with the Leviathan.
God. It says, shall the companions make a banquet of him? Let me go to verse 7. Right. We read that in verse 6 in the NLT. It says, will merchants try to buy it, to sell it in their shops?
Right.
And Esau like he like to sell the image of all of these different artifacts inside of his museums. You know what I'm saying? And he want to be able to sell Leviathan, man.
Right. Like you got the zoos, and then you got a place called SeaWorld. You got the the dolphins, the shamu, so to speak. It's all entertainment.
It's all entertainment with Esau. He wish he could just bind Leviathan up and he could just showcase them petting animals and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It says, canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him. Remember the battle. Do not more. When you read that in NLT, it says, if you lay a hand on it, you will certainly remember the battle that follows. You won't try that again.
So ain't nothing sweet about this beast that the Lord is bringing, man. And this beast is coming with straight destruction, man. Like a time like never before, man. That's why, this is going with Jacob's trouble, man. It's going to get crazy, man. When the Lord, come and crack that sky, it's going to be all type of judgment being forth. You got to remember, the Lord's coming with the heavenly host. Yahweh Shah himself, all right, along with, the Leviathan, bro.
Right.
Like, that's going to be crazy.
That's going to be crazy.
That's a hell of a judgment.
It says in the NLT verse 9, it says, no, it is useless to try to capture it. The hunter who attempts it will be knocked down. And since no one dares to disturb it, who then can stand up to me? Who has given me anything that I need to pay back? Everything under heaven is mine. That's how Leviathan feels. He feel like everything under heaven belongs to him. It says, I want to emphasize Leviathan's limbs and its enormous strength and grateful force. Who can strip off its hide? And who can penetrate its double layer of armor?
So
right?
yeah, Brad gonna be trying to shoot missiles. Brad gonna be trying to use his little swords, his guns, and shit like that. It's not gonna be able to affect the Leviathan.
Right. It says who could pry open his jaws? Right, because his scales is gonna be locked together, man, tight.
Right. Sheesh.
It says who can strip off its hide, and who can penetrate its double layer of armor? Who could pry open its jaws? For its teeth are terrible. Its scales are like rows of shields tightly sealed together.
That's cold, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
And it says they are so close together that no air can get between them. Each scale sticks tight to the next. They interlock and cannot be penetrated, man. So you can't shoot no pistol at Leviathan and expect him to get starstruck and just fall down on his back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It says when it sneezes, it flashes light.
Ooh. Right. So you guess what? It got concentrated fire coming out this beast. You know, it's gonna be burning and zapping you niggas.
Right. You gotta imagine that in your mind too. You just a light spark, you know, when all of that force coming out of his nostrils when he sneezes, it's literally gonna flash a light. You know what else flashes light when it spark? A missile.
Right.
That just is an example of how great and mighty this force is, man.
And like I said, they showed that in the movies of Godzilla, man. You know, that's how Esau predictive programming. You know, he know about the scriptures. That's where he get all his ideas from, man.
It says when it sneezes, it flashes light. Its eyes are like the red of the dawn. It says lightning leaps from its mouth. Flames of fire flash out. Right. So when he do that thing that he do in the movies, it sparks upon his face, man. It says smoke streams from his nostrils like steam from a pot heated over burning rushes. His breath would kindle coals, for flames shoot from his mouth. The tremendous strength in Leviathan's neck strikes terror wherever it goes. Its flesh is hard and firm and cannot be penetrated. Its heart is hard as rock, hard as a millstone. When it rises, the mighty are afraid, gripped by terror. No sword can stop it. No spear, dart, or javelin. Let's jump down.
So ain't nothing you can do. You know, you pretty much at this beast's mercy.
Yeah, you literally at his mercy, man. It says, verse 28 says, I'm skipping the verse. It says, arrows cannot make it flee. Stones shot from a sling are like bits of grass.
You know, Brad is proud. He think his weapons is gonna be able to stop him. You know, but you gonna soon find out, man. You gonna look silly in that day. Ain't nothing you gonna be able to do, man. Leviathan is gonna just tear y'all in pieces.
It says its belly is covered. This verse, let me go to verse the verse 30. I'm skipping the verse. Its belly is covered with scales as sharp as glass. It plows up the ground as it drags through the mud.
They think that, you know, they're gonna be able to find a loophole somewhere they can, you know, crack into the Leviathan and, you know, take him down. But look, there's nothing you can do other his belly or none of that, you know.
Yeah,
because a lot of animals, you know, you can kind of penetrate them from underneath. You know what I mean?
But literally, he's gonna destroy anything under him. It literally say that he's gonna tear up the ground as he go upon the ground, man. As he go upon the mud, because he got scales like glass upon his stomach, man. That's a scary thing. He could just fall right on top of you, ripping you apart, man. It says its belly is verse 31. Leviathan makes the water boil with his commotion. It stirs, right? So just based off of his movement. You know what I'm saying? The amount of friction and heat that's gonna be caused just based off of his movement, man. It says it stirs the depths like a pot of ointment. The water glistens in its wake. It says making the sea look white. Nothing, in 22 verses left, it says, nothing on earth is his equal, no other creature so fearless.
So yeah, the Lord created this beast special. You know, he's like pretty much the top of the food chain. Like, I mean, not the food chain, but he's the top of the, you know, the creation of the Lord's creation of the animals.
That's right.
Beast.
It says, of all the creatures, it is the proudest. It is the king of beasts.
There you go.
There you go. So this what you gonna be able to do against an animal that the Lord created like that, man? You know what I'm saying? Could you get that Amos chapter 9 and verse 2? Because the Lord he's gonna use this animal, this great beast, to judge the earth. And you know, even when you devils try to escape, man, he's gonna use that beast again, man.
You know, these people, they don't believe in this. You know, they just like, you know, that's fiction, man.
Right. Just like the
real.
UFOs, so-called UFOs, man. It's the same belief. Oh, well, I ain't seen it with my own eyes, so, you know, I don't think that is, you know, black creatures inside of those vehicles, if they do exist. You got that?
Yeah, I'm getting that. This phone's so slow.
I'm here.
You got it.
This is the book of Amos chapter 9 and verse 2. It says, though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Because you got to remember also, you know, Jeremiah 16 and 16, the Lord is going to send forth his, first his fishers, which will be coming in the form of fishing. You know, Yahushua told his disciples, I have made you fishers of men.
Right. And then, how, like, for a Christian, how can somebody dig into hell, bro?
Right.
Make the shit make sense.
That's
man.
a good, yeah. Well, let's get this word hell.
Because hell
in
is
this
a
verse.
condition, man. It's the grave. Okay, there ain't no fucking devil down there with a pitchfork, you know, tormenting you.
Yeah, it says good. It says underworld, grave, hell pit. But yeah, see, the blue letter goes off. It's more so referencing it as, you know, some type of underground place where you burn forever.
Right.
But we know when it's talking about hell, it's this, and this specific verse is dealing with the earth. It's dealing with, you know, them getting into them caves. Right. It says then shall my hand take them, right? Because the Lord gonna send forth his hunters, and we gonna have them spiritual powers, and we gonna be able to snatch you right up out of them caves, man. It ain't gonna be no escape. It's gonna be straight up spiritual power. You're gonna be able to phase through a wall. You're gonna be able to phase through a rock. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna be able to punch. The scripture say, and I think that's Isaiah the 47th chapter or somewhere around there, where it's talk about you shall make you a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. You shall beat the
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, but back to verse 3, Amos 9 and verse 3. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. It says, and though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them.
So, you know, Esau got bunkers inside the ocean, man.
That's right.
You know, and that's why the Lord's going to use the Leviathan to get their asses up out of there, man.
That's right.
Go destroy y'all asses, man. Ain't no hiding from the face of the Lord, man.
Right. But that was pretty much on that. You got something else?
No, that was it.
All right, well, Lord's willing, that was edifying. This was a lesson dealing with Leviathan, one of the Lord's greatest creatures, who's getting ready to do a lot of judgment whenever the Lord is ready to command him. You know what I'm saying? So Lord's willing, this is edifying for the elect member. And we're going to close about giving our honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash, Kwame Yashra, Allah, Shalom.